Hey Deckers, every month Valve gives us the most played games on Steam Deck. We track this and give you a bunch more info as well as some gameplay. So let's dive in then. At number 20, we have Dead Cells, verified on Steam Deck and down 12 places since last month, with a Proton DB status of native and a time to beat of around 14 to 90 hours. Dead Cells is considered the illegitimate child of modern roguelites, from Rogue Legacy to Binding Isaac and old school Metroidvania. At number 19, we have Persona 5 Royale, also with verified status and Proton DB of gold, with a time to beat on this one of 100 to 144 hours. When you're forced to transfer high school in Tokyo, the protagonist has a strange dream. You truly are a prisoner of fate. With the goal of rehabilitation looming overhead, you must survive to save others by donning the mask of the Phantom Thief. At number 18, we have Slay the Spire, verified on Steam Deck, and a Platinum Proton DB status and a time to beat of anywhere between 11 and 200 hours on this one. Featuring dynamic deck building, you need to choose your cards wisely, discover hundreds of cards to add to your deck with each attempt to climb the spire. Number 17 this week, we have Fallout 4, with playable status down 1 place from last month, Proton DB status of gold and a time to beat of anywhere between 27 and 160 hours. As the sole survivor of Vault 111, you enter a world destroyed by nuclear war. Every second is a fight for survival. Only you can rebuild and determine the fate of the wasteland. At number 16, we have Monster Hunter Rise. Playable status on Steam Deck and down 1 place from last month. Proton DB status of gold on this one and a time to beat of anywhere between 21 and 160 hours. Hunt down a plethora of monsters with distinct behaviours and deadly ferocity, from classic returning monsters to all new creatures inspired by Japanese folklore. At number 15, we have the amazing Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition. Playable status and Proton DB gold, down 2 places from last month with a time to beat of anywhere between 25 and 210 hours. The special edition is truly a remarkable achievement above and beyond the original Skyrim and plays fantastically on Steam Deck. At number 14, down 2 places again, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, with verified status on Steam Deck and a Proton DB status of Platinum. Time to beat of 55 to 188 hours on this one, and the next gen update did need some tweaks but is working absolutely fine now. Check out our best settings guide to get the most out of this. At number 13, down another 3 places, Brotato, verified status, Platinum on Proton DB and a time to beat of anywhere between 4 and 50 hours. Or as long as you can last until you get bored. Brotato is the only potato capable of handling 6 weapons at a time, waiting to be rescued by his mates. A very clean concept of the wave survivors. At number 12, up 2 places, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, also verified on Steam Deck, native on Proton DB and a time to beat of anywhere between 5 and 280 hours. With randomly generated levels, it's definitely going to keep you entertained and is a very easy pick up and play title on deck. At number 11, No Man's Sky, verified on Steam Deck, up huge 8 places this month thanks to the latest DLC, with a Proton DB status of gold and a current time to beat of around 30 to 140 hours. But with the amount of expansions that keep coming from this, that's just going to grow. As you can see, the latest expansion was working perfectly fine on Steam Deck with a good 30 to 40 frames per second, and we highly recommend you dive into this one. At number 10, down 1 place from last month, Hades, verified status and Proton DB Platinum. Time to beat of anywhere between 22 and 96 hours. Definitely see a running theme on Steam Deck of roguelites and survivals. Defy the gods of the dead as you hack and slash out to the underworld in the roguelike dungeon crawler from the creators of Bastion, Transistor and Pyre. At number 9 this month, we have a new entry, DREDGE, verified status and Proton DB of Platinum with a time to beat of around 9 to 18 hours, an extremely chill game where you captain your fishing trawler to explore a collection of remote islands and their surrounding depths. We'll be taking a look on Steam Deck on this one very soon to have our own gameplay. At number 8, up 1 place from last month, Cyberpunk 2077. Verified status on Steam Deck, Proton DB is gold and time to beat around 24 to 103 hours. With the latest edition of FSR 2.1, it made this much more playable on the Steam Deck, and you can see why this is consistently in the top 20. Holding its place from last month, Grand Theft Auto 5 with playable status on Steam, and ProtonDB status of gold. Time to beat of around 31 to 81 hours, but that's just the story. Obviously you can play for a long time online, and online works just fine with Grand Theft Auto 5, providing you want to stick around the 30 frames per second. At number 6, Red Dead Redemption 2, playable on Steam Deck and holding its position from last month, with a ProtonDB status of gold and a time to beat of around 50 to 180 hours. Again, this is pretty much a 30 FPS title on the Steam Deck, but is more than playable, and online is also working just fine if you want to go down that route. At number 5, Resident Evil 4, up 15 places from last month with the playable status on Steam and gold on ProtonDB, with a time to beat around 15 to 30 hours. This had huge improvements from the demo version, making it much more stable and playable now, so you can take on the latest Resident Evil remake on your Steam Deck. At number 4, still in the top 5 but down 1 place from last month, is Stardew Valley. Verified status on Steam Deck, native on ProtonDB, and a time to beat of anywhere between 52 and 156 hours. This extremely chill game is a very quick and easy way to lose a ton of hours playing on your Steam Deck. Down 2 places from last month, we have Hogwarts Legacy, verified status and gold on ProtonDB, with a time to beat around 25 to 64 hours. This is definitely a great game to be playing on your Steam Deck, and you'll need to be playing around the 40 frames per second mark to get the most out of it. Check out our best settings guide to be sure that you can be the best wizard on your Steam Deck. Holding firm at number 2 this month, Elden Ring, verified status on Steam with gold on ProtonDB, and a time to beat of anywhere between 56 and 133 hours. This is another title that has stayed in the top 20 since pretty much the very beginning. Whether you stay at 30 or 40 frames per second, you're going to have a great time playing Elden Ring. Up 3 places and back in the number 1 spot this month is Vampire Survivors, verified status on Steam and gold on ProtonDB, with a time to beat of 10 to 40 hours that we just don't believe, because you will spend hundreds of hours trying to get your best combo and unlocking everything in this game, and with the latest DLC it just gets even better. Let us know in the comments below which of these games you've been playing, or if you haven't been playing one of the top 20, which ones you have. Be sure to check out our weekly top 10 verified and playable games, as well as the latest gameplay and performance vids. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.